Alrighty guys, it's me again. Welcome to part 2 of my Sonic 2 playthrough. From this point on it's going to be very smooth sailing. We've got all the Chaos Emeralds in like one zone, so we can just charge straight ahead and get through this game. This is Chemical Plant, the second zone of Sonic 2, and it was also the second zone in Sonic Generations for the 360 and PS3. Yeah, which is just like basically a look back at brought back a bunch of levels from old Sonic games. Fantastic game. I already played through it. Highly recommend picking it up. But yeah, Chemical Plant Zone, it's easy to see why it was chosen for Generations, because it's a fantastic zone with fantastic music. There is a whopping huge shortcut I could have taken that would have gotten me to the end of the zone incredibly quickly, but I didn't take it. Never mind. If you play as Knuckles and climb up the wall on the right, you can get yourself an extra life. I mean, it's quite a climb, but, you know. Here's Supersonic. Not that I'm really going to have much of a chance to talk about him, because I'm practically at the end of the zone already. But boy, have I got a few things to say about him. Not all of them good. I'm going to be bluntly honest. Not all the things I have to say about Supersonic is good. But yeah, this is a Chemical Plant. Great music. Not my favourite track in the game. I still prefer Metropolis, but this is probably my second favourite track in the game in terms of music. But this zone is not really hard to deal with. I mean, there's spiders that will come down and grab you and try and blow up on you, but you can shake yourself free. There's pink water which you can drown in, so you've got to be careful there. All these kind of pipes you can go through, which leads you to various different destinations. You know, it's a Chemical Plant Zone. With a red city in the background that looks suspiciously like the city from Streets of Rage, but that's beside the point. Here's Supersonic yet again. Supersonic can only be activated if you have 50 rings and you jump. No, not if you activate some kind of... Not if you press multiple buttons, you just have to jump and he'll transform. One of my biggest gripes with this, because this is a platform game, you can't help but to jump. So you can't help but to transform into Supersonic. I've transformed into Supersonic many times in this playthrough and in playthroughs before, where I did not want to be Supersonic and he just transforms, even though I did not want him to change. That's just the way Supersonic rolls in this game. I've never really liked the way they handled the transformation. I like the concept, but it pees me off that if I just want to jump, I transform. It irks me. Anyway, Supersonic is a lot faster and, you know, can jump a lot higher than regular Sonic. So there's that to bear in mind. But, and there's a big but, I find Supersonic to be more tricky to control. I'm not sure if that's just me or if anybody else feels the same way. I've always found Supersonic to be trickier to control. That's why I often just go for Sonic 2 without bothering to get him. Fuck! Gotta be careful there. Yeah. Oh god, that was a really lame death. Oh, I do apologise for that. 2 deaths in a row. That is pathetic, especially in Chemical Plant Zone. The zone isn't that hard. I mean, the hardest bit I've already completed, and that's the bit where you have to climb up the blocks in the pink water. That bit was very nerve-wracking as a child, and still is. If you do end up in the water, just use this. You can get out straight away. And on the other side to boot. Anyway, going into the boss battle. The boss is really easy again. Obviously, the only thing you gotta watch out for is that these tiles off the floor flip, and if you fall through, it's a death, even if you end up beating Robotnik. But you can literally just bounce on Robotnik in this boss fight, and he will go down really quickly, just as long as you kind of flip back in the centre. you've beaten the zone. It's really easy. Really, really easy. Sonic's just tapping his foot because he's all impatient. He wants to move on with the adventure because, you know, we've spent too much time in Emerald Hill getting Chaos Emeralds. I wanted to get the Chaos Emeralds for this playthrough just to prove that I could, really. Just in case anyone was like, oh, can't you get the Chaos Emeralds? Don't you know how to get them? Yes, I know how to get them. It's just that I don't like getting them. Because Supersonic's such a cheating bastard. Not to mention the fact that the controls are just kind of iffy. Not bad, but certainly iffy. So this is Aquatic Ruin. There's a bunch of Eggman faces that fire arrows at you. There's pillars that rise up that you have to smash by jumping onto them. There's underwater sections, but you can avoid them completely if you know how to. And I suppose that makes many people consider this to be the best water stage in a Sonic game, purely because you don't have to go underwater. If you know what you're doing, you can just go the top route the whole time and never go underwater, which is awesome. Supersonic is not immune to drowning, I will say that. So don't think you can just charge underwater for as long as you like with Supersonic. He will drown. He's not immune from that. Okay, Aquatic Ruins Zone 2. More of the same, really. If you don't want to go underwater, then you might want to go here in order to get across. And then you'll be on the upper route and you won't have to worry. I generally always try to go for the upper route, just purely because it's faster and easier. The biggest problem with Sonic being underwater is that things do slow down quite significantly. I don't hate underwater levels. I had a somewhat soft spot for Labyrinth, which everyone else seems to hate, and, you know, I like Hydra City. So, you know, it's not that I hate underwater levels, it's just that if I can go quickly, I will go quickly. But yeah, this is another straightforward level. And I just, like I said, I like the fact that you don't have to go underwater if you know your way through the level. Anyway, boss time already. If you try and stand on the top of these pillars, it'll be so much easier and you can just jump into Robotnik this way. The proper way you're meant to do it is use the arrows to get up and hit him. Wait until they land in the pillar on the other side and just smash into him. If you get on top of the pillars though, you'll make quick work of this boss, really. The biggest gripe with Sonic 2 in terms of boss fights is that, well, the designs aren't necessarily bad. They are incredibly easy for the most part, bar one or two exceptions. And I will point those one or two exceptions out as we come with him. Ugh. Excuse me. And that's Aquatic Ruins. Not really much to say about it. Really straightforward level. Oh, Casino Night Zone. What many people consider to be one of the other favourites in terms of Sonic 2 levels. This level was remade in Sonic Generations for the 3DS. Which, I've got to be brutally honest, I was not a big fan of the 3DS version. I thought it was very bland in comparison to the HD version. I just didn't like it that much. But I do like the remix of the tune, that, you know, the whole jazzy sound to it. But yeah, this is a Casino Night Zone. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's based on a casino. There's blocks, there's pinball machines, which was a first at the time for Sonic games. You can, you know, rack up rings and points doing this. Oh, and there's a hidden life, did you know? Yeah, there's pinball bumpers, and you can fly all over the place, and this zone's really straightforward to get through. I mean, not a bad zone, far from it. Gimmicks are awesome. They introduced a kind of staple to the series. In fact, I think as far as the pinball stages go, this is still the best. In terms of pinball physics, Sonic Spinball, I'm looking at you. And just in terms of, you know, interestingness, Sonic Adventure, I'm looking at you. And in terms of control, again, I already stated Sonic Spinball had a kind of issue, but Sonic Heroes, I'm looking at you! My god, did Sonic Heroes had terrible controls in terms of the pinball segments. But yeah, that was Act 1. Relatively straightforward to get through these. I mean, you know, you just mostly make your way to the right. Just go right, just go right. There are these things which propel you forwards and upwards and stuff. Really, not much to say about them. You know, this is a flashy zone. Not one of my personal favourites, but very flashy, very nice to look at. Pretty darn good music too. And as I said, this introduced a staple into the series in terms of Sonic being able to use pinball techniques. And not only that, but, you know, casinos being used in Sonic games. Which went on to happen again and again and again. I'm mainly thinking of Sonic Adventure, Heroes, and, you know, Sonic 4 Episode 1, which is essentially a remake of this stage, but that's beside the point. This bit is kind of annoying to get past. But, oh god. See, you sprint, you bounce about everywhere over these bumpers, and it's really irritating. It just takes a lot of patience. If you spin dash it like that, you should be able to get by easily enough, and I hate having to activate Supersonic. I have no need for him. Okay, I know that it's very hypocritical. I go out of my way to unlock Supersonic by spending a whole part in Emerald Hill Zone. And then I moan about having Supersonic once I've got him. I know it's hypocritical. But I can't help but feel that way about, you know, Supersonic's control. It's not bad, it's just, well, kind of awkward. Not as good as it could be. I mean, it's very fast and furious, and I think that kind of hurts it. I mean, I know Sonic's supposed to be about speed and all, but sometimes if you go too fast, you know, you sacrifice control, and that is an issue. I want to have control over the games that I play, damn it. But yeah, the whole gimmick here is, I'm trying to play this exactly the way I would without being Supersonic. You roll up the side, you spin dash into him. Not really that hard. Try not to get caught on the bump, you know, the pinball bumper things. Because otherwise he's gonna, you know, reach down and hurt you and shit. Yeah. Easy boss. Not as easy as the bosses in the last two zones, but still easy boss. So we got through Act 2, and we got some points, and now we're on Hilltop Zone. Hilltop Zone looks remarkably like Emerald Hill in terms of the grass and all that, but it's actually a lava zone in a similar vein to Marble Zone in Sonic 1. But this is really kind of an easy zone. I always take this route. Anyway, there are these things which, you know, you have to get the ball to go on the other side and, you know, fling it up so you can get flung up yourself. Straightforward. And then there's like these things which just you go down, and I don't know exactly how they work, but whatever. Oh yeah, I don't not want to be Supersonic. Never mind, eh? I always wondered if there was an easy mode in Sonic Jam and a normal mode, which is essentially just the same as original mode, but, you know, slightly easier, with items here and there that normally wouldn't be in the original mode. It does make me wonder if what would have happened if there had been a hard mode. Would have been brutal, I imagine. The bit before now, when we were in that lava pit, you've got to be very careful to slow down there, otherwise you will get crushed. But, you know, that's probably a bit pointless me mentioning that now, when we've already done that, like, you know, near enough a minute ago. But, you know, I figured I'd mention it. Jesus Christ, I'm talking about this game like I'm trying to give advice and tutorials and not go on about how much I love it and stuff. I do love this game. It's not my favourite video game of all time. It's certainly not my favourite Sonic game of all time, but I enjoy it. It's got its good points. Every game has its bad points as well. I mean, Supersonic I wasn't too fond of. But the biggest thing that kind of let me down about this game was Tails. Namely the fact that he essentially played the same way that Sonic did. He can't fly, despite what you might believe. Only the computer can control his flight, but the player cannot. And so essentially playing a game as Tails is just like a waste of time. Your Tails tags along after Sonic, then he's a pain in the backside. And he will prevent you, you know, in special stages, he will make your life difficult, you know, in regards to holding on to rings. So he will screw you over a few times, he'll screw you over in boss fights. I like Tails as a character, but I don't ever have him tagging along with me in Sonic 2. Generally not, which is why I'm not bothered here. I'm just Sonic alone, because it makes my life so much easier, and I would rather not screw myself in the foot with Tails, no matter how awesome a character he might be. Tails was improved upon in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but he still can screw you over in boss battles and stuff in that game. But, oh whatever, I'm not playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'm playing Sonic 2. This level's also kind of easy. I've noticed that a lot of the levels in this game are really short. This boss is so easy that it's a joke. I'm kind of taking the piss by being Supersonic here, but if you just jump on top of him, literally just jump, hop up and down on top of him, as just the second he comes out of the lava, you'll beat him easy. You might take a hit if you land in the lava by accident, but easy boss! You notice the pattern here? Because I have easy bosses all the way through. Anyway, Mystic Cave Zone. One of my personal favourite levels in this game. Purely because it's so different. Like an underground cave. I would have loved to have seen this remade in Generations, just for the hell of it. Just to see, you know, just to see what it would have looked like. You know, I've always had a soft spot for this level, I'm not going to lie. There are bugs that light up, and when they light up you cannot hit them, because they will hit you. There are vines and stuff that you have to use to get around. There are these spikes that just come straight out of the wall that will hurt you if you're not careful and quick enough. On the whole, this level's kind of cool. Got to be careful here because that can crush you, obviously. And there's boxes that just move around in circles for no reason other than they can. I hate the fact they play springs like this. I never understood it. Okay. Act 1 is pretty straightforward. In Act 2 there is something that I kind of have to point out. I will when I get to it. And this is fucking annoying because I'm trying to get onto here with Supersonic and it's not happening with the control. Just so sensitive. Flies in the direction that I send him. Like I said, good speed, but controls are somewhat sacrificed here. I would sooner have a slower Hedgehog that I can control, thank you very much. Some people may disagree with that, but hey, that's me. Then again, I like Unleashed and colours and all that. You know, they're fast, but I can control them. You know, I can control them well enough. That's just me, so... You know. Okay. Soon along in Act 2 in Mystic Cove you'll come across a pit which you cannot get out of. Oh my god, it is like the most annoying pit in the world. The only time you can get out of this particular pit is if you are Knuckles. Playing the Knuckles and Sonic 2 playthrough because he can climb out. But still. Try not to move too fast. There we go. I'm not even hanging on to anything, that's funny. But yeah, that bridge that I just lowered covers the pit that you can't escape from. It's not a bottomless pit. It goes quite a long way down and then there are loads of spikes on the bottom. So if you were Supersonic, you would have to wait until you ran out of rings or timed over. There is no escape from that pit. I'm sorry, but what the hell? You know, what kind of design choice is that, really? I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to fall in the pit, but... Jesus, put a spring down there so that people can get out again. Christ. Anyway. Boss time. Again. This boss isn't that hard either. This Robotnik Boss likes to drill into the ceilings and send like shrapnel and rubble and all that flying down on you. But he's easy to get rid of. I try not to rush through it because I didn't want to hit the spikes. Spikes that fall from the ceiling are easy to dodge. The rocks won't hurt you. And that's that. Another easy boss. There's definitely a theme in Sonic 2 with easy bosses. I mean, not all the bosses are hard. Later on we'll encounter a couple of bosses that do give us a run for our money. But most of them are piss easy. Okay, this is Lotion. Gimmick here is that the water isn't real water, so you can kind of jump through it and stuff. But you don't want to go underneath because you will die. It's an oily ocean. That seems to be more oil than ocean. An ocean of oil rather than an ocean of water. There are a few annoying enemies in this level, I admit. Not as annoying as the one that are coming up in the following level. The following level will have us even more annoying enemies. But I still don't like these seahorses. They follow you around, they shoot projectiles at you. I mean, okay, that doesn't sound so bad, but they have gotten annoying a few times before. There's also like these little octopuses that just rise up and shoot projectiles. Not hard to dodge, I suppose, but... That's just something about these badniks that rub me up the wrong way. Oh, for God's sake. Why did I get Supersonic again? Why did it friggin' matter if I couldn't be bothered to get through the special stages? This is just... My word. Yeah. Okay. Oh god, don't do that. So anyway, we're gonna head down here. God, this is really all over the place here. There are plenty of these things that you get shot up into and they get you around. I'm not quite sure what they're meant to be, mind, but they help you get around, so I suppose it don't really matter that much what they are. See, these guys can be kind of annoying, but not as annoying as the seahorses, because they follow you. These guys don't. I should say those guys don't, because I haven't run into one for a while. Other than the one I just killed up there. Gotta be careful here that you don't get squished or anything. Get sent flying up. And that's the end of the first act, at least. Excuse me. Okay, Act 2. No more or less complicated, it's just the same thing. Collapsing bridges, annoying seahorses that follow you everywhere. Oil instead of water. These platforms that fire upwards. Yeah, you want to go sent into them. You'd think it would squish you, but it doesn't. It just sends you flying into these things. There's multiple directions I could go, but I chose to go this way because I'm used to going this way. Whee! Might be mindful of these, they're spikes. They'll hurt. Plenty of slides. Oh god, brings me back to my childhood. Water slides. Oh god, you missed those things. Growing up. I haven't been swimming in ages. Not since I stopped enjoying it. Oh crap, that was a terrible landing. There really isn't much to say about Lotion Zone. It's kind of straightforward for the most part. There are very rarely any points where you get stumped. See, that slide's coming downwards, so that implies I have to head left, as opposed to heading right, because otherwise I would be backtracking if I went right. And sure enough, you can head this way now. Oh god, that was terrible. Very reckless of me. It's not like I'm playing easy mode after all. Whee! Okay, so we're at the end of the level. This is another easy boss. Robotnik will come up in a sub. Just bounce on him. But I didn't do enough to take him out completely, which I kind of expected, to be honest. This kind of snake looking thing will come out and fire projectiles at the platform you're supposed to be standing on, but obviously I'm abusing the oil here, the fact that I can jump on it. As long as I keep jumping, I will not die. Ah, crap. But yeah, it's another easy boss. Who saw that one coming? You know, with the explosion, I'm surprised that the whole of Lotion just did not catch alight. It is oil after all. You'd have thought that would have been what happened. Anyway, that's Act 2. Lotion is finished. The next part will be heading to Metropolis. See you then.